Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sinister Parlor Podcast. I'm Zombie Barbie, and tonight I get to talk again with the awesome, amazing director, writer, producer, cinematographer, and editor, BRETT MULLEN.
It's true. Hope everyone's having a great night or well, I guess it could be morning or day, depending on what time you release this. But hopefully
It will be
you're
nighttime.
safe from this corona monster that's
Yeah.
terrorizing people.
We're all quarantined inside doing podcasts and shit.
Did you know that Full Moon released a movie like today or yesterday? It was called Corona Zombies.
No way.
It's a real thing. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and they already shot it. Like they were just like, hurry, let's go.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, I did not hear that. Corona zombies. That's
I
scary.
mean, I
that
like
could
zombie
happen.
movies. Zombie movies are cool. I don't know how they'll be any different with the coronavirus, but
Yeah.
I mean, that's like another, like, not only do you turn into a zombie later on, but maybe like you get sick and can't breathe first, and then you turn into a zombie. So it's like
that could be. They
double
cough a
whammy.
lot as they're walking. They're like all winded and coughing.
Yeah. I don't know. Like it has a zombie with one of those face masks on, and there's like a toilet paper roll. Yeah.
Try not to infect each other.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, it's good.
That's funny. So before we start recording, I was telling you, your fucking background is awesome again. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah.
And you match.
I am remodeling. I just moved into a new residence. So I am putting cool things up, and I always like color. So I think when I started Fantasma in 2015, I started making practical bulbs in my house, different colors, so I could kind of see how they would naturally flow room to room as I was walking around, like, so I could plant them in different scenes. So if you notice in Fantasma, they'll be like coming from the closet, and you know, it'll be lamps and stuff like that. So that was just literally like just a little bit of time that I spent with that, and I was trying to listen to only like new wave techno and electronica and stuff like that to try to get like in the mood, because I do that before I do a movie. Is I like dive all in and I try to like live it, get obsessed with it, and that helps me with writing and shooting and everything like that, and pacing, you know.
Yeah. So you're like a method.
I mean, not that this is from Fantasma, but I love painting things.
So you're like a method director. Instead of a method actor, you're a method director.
Yeah. Method
you're like,
director.
I live it, I breathe it. But new wave, that's actually, I love 80s new wave. That is one of my absolute favorite genres. Like, love it.
It is super cool. I was in a band when I've been in 13 bands, honestly, but there's
Lucky
one
13.
electronic band I was in called Thurston and the Turds. And we were an electronica band, and yeah, we were pretty good. We were like 80s new wave style. So
cool.
Yeah, I'll have to pass you on to some.
Yeah, you'll have to send me some.
See, my friend who was homeless, he was originally from North Carolina, but he would come down to visit his grandparents, and he would try to make as much money as he could so he had enough money to go back to North Carolina. So that was like his summer. So he'd be like sleeping around on the benches in town and stuff like that. Aww. And so I saw him because he came in my gas station. And I was like, hey, you can sleep at my house. So he came over and we just started making music. So I was Thurston because I had this soccer jersey that said Thurston on it, and he was the turd. Thurston and the Turds, but yeah.
He was a turd.
Well, we're picking on him because he was dirty from sleeping on the bench. So we're just like, yeah, instead of calling him Trevor, we'll just call him the Turd.
I was Thurston because I was wearing a jersey that said Thurston, and he was a turd.
Not as much sense as you need when you're like 15. I don't know.
Because he was dirty.
I'm glad we kicked off the episode like this.
Me too.
Good meaty stuff up in the forefront.
Oh, fuck, that's funny. You need to send me stuff that I do want to hear it if you have stuff that I can listen to.
Yeah, I've got 2 albums by Thurston and the Turds. Pretty epic stuff. We'd usually just sing about skateboarding or running around the town doing trouble, you know.
Cool. Sleeping on benches.
Couple girl songs. Oh, there was one about him being on the bench.
Oh.
So yeah, you could listen to that and it tells the whole story.
Oh, that's so sad. Does he still sleep on benches?
No, I think he deals marijuana in Colorado.
Oh, okay. That's where I'm from, actually.
So that's going well for him.
Probably. He's probably making a shit
cool
ton of money now.
Yeah, for real.
Oh my God. Oh, fuck, that's funny. I don't even know where to start.
Where do you transition, right?
That made me fucking laugh so hard. So how many, so that's the band that you have 2 albums with. So what, do you have albums with the other bands that you're in, since you did 13 of them?
One band was called Ready, Set, Explode. And my mother was angry at me because the logo was a horse exploding. And I grew up on a horse farm. So she was like, why was it a horse? You know, yeah, Ready, Set, Explode. It was Memory of a Day. Ends Fall, which was a metal band.
Sweet.
Keeping the Change. We're like pop punk, like girls, beer. Hey Pete, which we got the band name Hey Pete because we saw my buddy Pete walking down the hallway and we're just like, hey Pete. And we're like, oh, that should be the band name. Yeah, cool. And we were like, you know, Blink 182 style, just ripping chords and singing about women tough times.
Hey Pete.
There was a couple more, but I don't know. Those were the main ones, the special ones, I'd say.
Nice. So did you sing in them or did you play an instrument? What were you? What'd you do?
I sang in a couple of them. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I was famous in my town during Keeping the Change. We were at this like veterans type memorial hall place. And I was planning, I was like, this would be so funny if I got into my boxers and I jumped into the drum set. And I did. And it really hurt. And I played it off really well. But I think everyone was confused why I did that, but I mean, we thought it was cool. We thought it was super cool. All the bands were a lot older though, judgy, you know?
It all gets silent. They're just looking at you. Like in Back to the Future when he goes all crazy on the guitar.
Right. Yep, that one, trying to think if there was any other epic times. Not really. We had one song in Worst Case Scenario was the band. And we would just yell a bunch of things when we start. Like we put a bunch of sombreros on and then just yelled. It was like we didn't have any there's no no one knew what the octaves or chords were. We were just like jamming stuff and yelling. My dad liked the song though. He thought it was cool.
Oh fuck. You're just yelling in sombreros, you know. It's normal.
Yeah, and see that's where I even started making movies or anything like that. Is I was making skateboard videos that were kind of like, you know, Jackass style before Jackass, and then we made music videos for our bands and all that. And then I would make I had Deer the Living Dead, which was my first movie, and it was like little plastic deers, people set on fire and come back to life. So that was really cool. But then after film school, I was just like, I already have the skills. Like I've been making stuff for forever, you know?
Oh, so you went to film school?
Yeah, I went to 2 different film schools. I went to the New York Film Academy and I went to Full Sail.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Directing, editing, cinematography, and 3D animation.
Dang. So you really know your shit. See, I thought you self-taught yourself.
Yeah.
Wow. Yep. Good job. Look at you.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it was sort of self-taught before film school. Mm-hmm. So film school, like any other school, I feel like the debt gives you a reason why you have to do it, you know? And for me, I was just like, oh man, this is cool. I'm making money doing this. It's pretty rad.
Yeah.
So I did events and music videos for a while. And then, so now I just do, you know, bigger commercials. Like I try not to touch any smaller stuff. I leave that all for my movies and art. So I keep up, you know, a good amount of calendar to be able to do movies.
Mm-hmm. So. Damn, you're awesome. See, okay, so you need to start a band again, and then you need to let me be in the music video, and then you direct the music video too.
Cool. I dig it.
Let's do it.
What are we going to call ourselves?
not we're not gonna put turds in it.
Well, we should.
Yeah, that would
It
be
could be anything
fun.
we want in the turds, but
That's
we'll think
true.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to think about that and get back to each other.
Yeah. I just feel like that's a trending word, so
It's
you
pretty
know,
funny.
might as well.
He was a turd because he was dirty. Now he sells marijuana in Colorado.
If he watches this, he'll be laughing really hard.
We'll have to show him. And
Yeah.
my nail tech, I'm trying to think. My nail tech's husband was in a band, and I wish I could remember the name of the band because it was like a punk band, and it was the most disgusting title you've like ever heard. It was something, God, like it has something with an STD, and then something like bloody, infested venereal diseases, or it was like, something really weird. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that's gross.
I'd say that. Yeah, that could get attention.
Yeah, you think? So we're not going to do that. We're not.
Yeah, no.
We won't be named that.
You got to keep it classy.
Oh man. So I ended up having, and I'm sure you already know, but I had Shane Terry on here.
Yeah.
He's fucking awesome.
Yeah, Shane's a cool dude. I've been lucky enough to work on a majority of my projects with Shane. Yeah. So he's always a trooper. He's always willing to do whatever. Like today, he got live cast. I don't know if you saw, like
I saw body. That.
Yeah, it's super cool. I didn't end up making it. I was going to try to make it. But yeah, he's down for whatever, and he plays a great creature, and he plays a great person too in film. So he's super talented in both ways. And he just has a love for it, like not many people I know. So it's always good to have that dude on board.
Yeah. He's like, I was telling him in the interview, I'm like, you're like a BRETT MULLEN staple. You're in like quite a few of his movies, because he was in Bloody Ballet, which is also Fantasma, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He was in Bombshell Bloodbath, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And
he's the main zombie.
Yes, that's right. And then I even noticed on my own that he was the cop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I saw that and I was like,
yeah,
that's him. I think that's him. So I was like trying to look because it looked like him, but then it kind of didn't look like him. So I'm looking up on his pictures because I saw the tattoo on the wrist. And I'm like, okay, I swear that's him.
Not only is he in my films, but he is usually multiple people in every movie. So he's two in Fantasma, and he's 3 in Bombshell Bloodbath. You just don't know.
He's 3 in Bombshell Bloodbath. Who's the third one?
He's one of the dead soldiers at the end of the movie, and he's the cop, and he's the zombie. And in Fantasma, he's the killer, and he's also the dad that's dead in the table in the very beginning of the movie too.
Oh.
So because Fantasma is about the lead actress trying to get over the trauma of her dead parents, I used Shane and I used Suzanne Danger in the beginning as their mother and father that were murdered, and that's why the killer looks like the bangs of the mother, and then Shane Terry with the mask on. Because that's just how she sees death. It's pretty cool.
Didn't even catch him as the dad, and he didn't even mention it. Dang. And he didn't mention the soldier on Bombshell Bloodbath, because I was like, you were the cop too, right?
Thing.
Dang, that's so awesome. He wasn't in Belladonna though, right?
Nope. He worked as crew though. Yep, okay. He did lighting.
That's okay. That's right. Yep, he mentioned that. It's like my mind. So I was in a car accident when I was 13. So I have like, my memory is like shot. So it's like when you mention it, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. But it's like sometimes I'm like, I can't remember certain things. Like I'm sure half this we've talked about before the last time, but I won't remember until you start talking about it.
That's all right.
I have a problem. So before we were recording, you were saying with Belladonna, you didn't write it.
I did not.
You directed it.
Mulligan wrote it. Yeah, and originally the movie was about like a succubus, and we went.
I know a lot about that. No, I'm just kidding.
But I can't obviously say what it is just in case you haven't seen Belladonna. But Yeah, we changed the monster, rewrote some things. I had found this really beautiful location in Richmond, Virginia they wanted to shoot at. So we kind of wrote some like classy scenes in it, took a lot of the dialogue and kept it the same. I love the title of the Belladonna because, you know, that's the poison used in the movie. Just Bill did an awesome job. But like the movie came about that I was not working or doing anything at the time, and I was like, man, I got 2 months off and I want to shoot something. So I said, you got some scripts, Bill? And Bill sent me 5.
Damn.
And I read Belladonna and I was like, you mind if I shoot this? He's like, hell yeah. And we did finished the writing and had it edited in 3 weeks. That's how quick that did. And it ended up winning 16 different festivals. Like it did really well. So that was super cool. And that kind of held me over between Killer Babes and Bloody Ballet, you know, as an excuse to do some art too. And I had never done any film festivals because both, you know, Bombshell Bloodbath and Bloody Ballet went to distro before they could do festivals. So I didn't get to play. So all my friends are like, oh, I'm going to this and this and this. And I'm like, man, I want something to put in. So it was also kind of me trying to find a way to mingle with fans and get to know people. So I started to do cons at the same time and conventions until Belladonna.
Cool. That's great. That's awesome though that the other 2 went straight to distribution. I mean, because that's one of the hardest things to get is distribution.
Yeah, I was really fortunate, and I was super fortunate to get redistro on Dead Inferno.
Dead Inferno is Bombshell Bloodbath, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you got all these names going on.
I know they've all been retitled. So this is Dead Inferno, and the re-release that Tetra Video did, and it's a 2-disc.
Oh shit!
Limited edition, and I personally it's got booklets and it's like a
wow,
super cool. I made a documentary on it, on the making of the film. Like went through all the footage and cut everything together, and did interviews with the cast and crew like later on. And
for that box set, for what you have in your hand.
Yeah, wow. So there's like 2 hours of extra stuff on it. It's insane.
That's cool. Is that what Shane was talking about, that there's only like 100 made, or there's only a certain amount made?
Yeah, they did 2 runs of it. The second run came out last month. Is sold out already.
Damn.
So, but it is the let's see, number 1
sweet
out of their catalog. So that was really cool, and I got to know those guys because I submitted Belladonna in their festival, which is the Optical Theater in Italy. And they saw it, Belladonna, and they were like, hey, what else you got? It's like, I showed them Bombshell Bloodbath, and they said, as long as we can change the title, we're down. We want that. We love that movie. So, and it definitely feels a lot like a Lucio Fulci film, like the Beyond or Zombie. It's got a lot of those kind of gory scenes to it, and it's got a good lighting scheme that matches up with it. So it's not 100%, but it's pretty close. Pretty cool.
It was good.
With some humor. You gotta have your Southern humor.
Well, one thing that I know, not one thing, but one of the major things I do notice with your films, your locations are freaking beautiful. Like even on Belladonna, wherever you shot, I mean, like that opening scene and like the staircase and stuff. I mean, that is beautiful. And then Bloody Ballet, I mean, the theater was beautiful. Even the like the house, I mean, houses are beautiful. Like everything that you find is insanely gorgeous. And even like the down the icky part below in Bloody Ballet, like I don't know what I can say. The pump house. Okay. Like even that's creepy as shit. And that's a cool location.
Yeah. I think that locations play, you know, as characters in movies as well, and people forget that. But you watch a lot of you know, late 70s, early 80s movies, and they were just as key, you know, to it. So I don't know. I love locations. They say a lot for a movie, and it's just cool to move people in it. Like if it's just standard houses or something like, or just all woods, it just doesn't excite me really.
Yeah.
But when you see the location for Killer Babes that we're about to shoot in May, it is insane. It's a huge castle. It's got like 4 pillars that go up that the witches are going to be all in, and it's got like we're on a spiraling like road like Dracula all the way up to it. Just really, really cool. There's just figuring out like how do we utilize all the space. You know, it's got 5 caves on the property, which is
Wow.
really cool. So I was already looking for like a witch coven type thing, and I'm like, they're gonna be in the caves. That's awesome,
Oh,
right?
hell yeah.
So
It's perfect.
yeah, I'm excited for that. And the other locations that we shot already were really cool. I found this really old vintage trailer and this vintage roller skating place that Sammy Castle helped
Nice.
orchestrate. And yeah, all that stuff so far. The movie is so good, and I literally can't show anything because it ruins plots.
Mm-hmm.
But I've cut some scenes together, and I'm just so excited. It's the best work that my team's done for sure. Like by
Really?
far.
Seeing
Yeah.
your other, everything else is really good. So I can't even imagine something
It
being
just looks
better.
more it looks more complete.
Mhm.
Like I really like the cinematography and stuff like that. But this one, like each shot has an intent to the next. Like it's very, very well polished. So
Mhm.
I'm excited because I just think it looks really high end. Plus the cast is really cool, and the music on it is really good. I haven't shared any of that yet, but the music is so good. Like it just makes me want to dance when it comes on. I'm like, oh man. It picks up just where Fantasma left off with the music. It's
Oh,
synthwave.
okay.
So,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, because that was another thing. Your music is awesome. And I kind of noticed, because you had me watch The Beyond, the music with Bloody Ballet and The Beyond kind of like you can kind of I can
Mm-hmm.
see how it's an influence to you, like you can see it in your filming.
Yeah.
Hear it, I guess. That I could hear, because I was like, oh, that's kind of like his. So he totally, I can see that it influenced you. And the lighting,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah. The
awesome.
lighting in both Belladonna and Phantasma were really cool. They were totally different, but
Beautiful.
um, yeah, I felt like Belladonna was neat because it hid in shadows like
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. There in the trailer, there's just a little like highlight, on the
Mm-hmm.
actress, or if they're in the one kind of castle scene, there's just a beam of light coming down from the wall. Or
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I think that's cool,
Yeah.
especially when they're beautiful locations and you just kind of like carve in where you want people to look. Because I always
Mm-hmm.
think like, what's the brightest part of the scene? Like, what are you trying to lead people's eyes to? And then that's where you can hide other things like scares or whatever. Like, keep it away from where people are looking, and then lead
Mm-hmm.
them into it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
super
fucking
fun.
cool. Well, and then Bloody Ballet, and I had told you this before, I love the purples and the blues and the reds and just
Mhm.
like how you did all those pops of color. I
Yeah,
love lighting. Like I'd asked you about getting lighting for my house, and you have the red light behind you. Like I love the lighting and I love that kind of 80s feel, that 80s look, how they do like the gels and stuff. It's so
yeah.
cool.
I'm extremely influenced by Mario Bava and Dario Argento, like two of the Hue masters. Uh, so I don't know. I mean, that's my favorite kind of filming, and I don't get it to do it too much with my commercial work. So it's
Oh,
like cool to experiment.
yeah.
You know, I mean, Beyonce is doing it, but besides Beyonce, yeah.
Well, I'm not paying attention to Beyonce. I'm paying attention to your work.
I just think she has a video with Hughes in it or something. I don't know. I forget. People call it the Beyonce if it has like magenta in it now. I was like, it came a long time before her, I'll tell you, but that's okay.
You're like, I've been using that shit way before she was anything. Bitch. No, I'm just kidding. um, so Mario, because I want to write down some things to check out too, because when you told me to watch The Beyond, I loved that movie. So I want to I want to watch more of that stuff.
Cool. So I got you covered. You got Lucio Fulci, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you watched The Beyond. You
Mm-hmm.
watched, so he's got a Gateway of Hell trilogy. So he's
Oh,
got City. of the Living Dead and House by the Cemetery. So both of those were within a year of the Beyond, and they complete the trilogy. So that's really cool. All like supernatural zombie stuff.
So, and they all
And
three coincide? Like those are all three together with the Beyond?
no, just like as much as Argento's Mother of Tears, Suspiria, and Inferno. Those are
Oh,
like,
Suspiria. Okay, I didn't
yeah.
realize that was him.
So Suspiria is Dario Argento, and he did
Dario.
like a trilogy of witch movies. And then Fulci did a trilogy of zombie, like supernatural movies. So kind
Oh.
of neat.
Yeah, hell
All
yeah.
those are good. All those are great. Fulci's way more bloody. Argento's way more color palette heavy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll definitely send you a cool list. And then there's a bunch
Yeah.
of directors who did a lot of either cannibal movies or giallo movies. And if you liked Bloody Ballet, Fantasma, then you'd like the giallo movies because it's kind of that hidden killer till the end.
Okay.
That's where they get it from. Is like detective movies of the 40s when they used to do the yellow backdrop and then they put the little circle in and be like the detective image,
Oh, okay, yeah.
whatever. So they call it
Detective.
yellow, which means yellow, which is the yellow cover, and that's where they started slanging that the movies were giallos, as if they were kind of like a detective trying to figure out who's the killer until the very end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, send me like a huge list of everything you think I should watch.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this was
Deal.
fucking awesome. I absolutely loved it.
I got you covered. I'll take care of you.
Yay. So, I had already watched Bloody Ballet before, when we had you on the first time. I hadn't seen Bombshell Bloodbath yet, so I did, I ended up watching that one. But I want to Bloody Ballet, and I think I had mentioned this to Shane Terry too, is, I watched it the first time, loved it, but then when you watch it again, you start picking up other things that you just didn't really quite notice or see. So it's nice,
Yeah.
it's nice to watch it again because I was like, holy shit, I didn't see that the first time. Because I remember when you were talking about some of the kill scenes, which I'm not going to give them away, but I'm trying to think which one, without giving it away. Because I remember you went like this
Yeah.
one.
Is it
That one. Yeah, that one I didn't see. And I don't know why. I watched the whole damn movie, but I don't know if I
It had
happened
to
to look
click.
away at that time or what. And so I was like, damn, that was badass. Like that would hurt. That's horrible.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that'd be a brutal death.
It'd
You
suck.
know, uh, Killer Babes is actually bloodier than Phantasma is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it did take it up a notch, and Bloody Ballet is definitely bloody. I mean, that much is
Sure.
right. When they changed the title from Phantasma, it's like, well, it's definitely bloody, and it's got ballet in it, so I guess whatever. But
It's like Thurston and the Turd.
the only thing I hate, like, because I remember I was so bummed out when they told me they changed it because it was too late
Yeah.
for me to do anything about it. And I just kept going, but I have Bombshell Bloodbath and Bloody Ballet. I'm like, it sounds dumb together. Yeah. That's when Tetra was like, we call it Dead Inferno. I was like, cool. Let's get rid of this bloody thing. I don't want another bloody movie. Bloodbath, no. That kind of
So
shit.
the eyeballs, I'm not going to give that away either, but the eyeballs have always been just like, if I see, and even with the Beyond, those
Yeah.
scenes, and then you like there's eyeball scenes in yours as well, and I was like,
Yeah.
God, that's just so freaking gross. Like, oh, it just makes you like cringe. That would be the worst, because you wouldn't die right away, so you're feeling half of that before you die, and that's just ugh.
I think that Americans were going with the teeth and the nail trauma, that they thought that was like super gross, which it is.
Teeth is sick too.
And
Yeah.
a lot of Italians were using eyes. What I watched yesterday, Opera, and there's somebody that got their eye pecked out by a crow. You're just like, oh god, like,
That
so
would
gross.
suck. Yeah, that would be.
It's different. Like it pecking you anywhere else is fine compared to the eyeball. You think the eyeball, and you're like, no.
Yeah. Because you would feel almost all of that. Because I mean, you're not
Yeah.
going to die from like a couple pecks. It's gonna. I mean, ugh.
Yeah. And then
Ugh.
it threw the eyeball on the ground, and the other ones were like, wow, like eating the eyeball. It's so cool. It was fun.
It's called
Yeah.
opera.
Opera. Yeah. And I was surprised I hadn't seen it yet. But my buddy Lee Troutman is like a super, super horror fan, like
Mm-hmm.
way more than me. He's seen like everything. And so I
Oh,
waited to see it with him because I didn't want to watch it myself. But it was like, I forget what year it was made. It was in the 80s. So it's older.
okay. It
Yeah.
sounds familiar, but I don't think I've seen it. But
You
I'm
probably know the
sure
picture. It's the eyeball with like the little like nails that are kind of like going like this and blinding
Hmm.
the eyes. It's super gross. Because the killer will prop their eyes open so they have to see him murder their friends. That's what the
Oh,
killer does. Like
that's
a
in
jerk.
opera. That's what he
Yeah,
does in opera.
yeah. It's like one of those standard trench coat, black glove killer
Oh, okay.
dude just running around being a jerk.
Being a jerk. He's being a
Yeah.
turd, damn it. um, but in Bloody Ballet, I mean, there were so many little eyeball parts where I was just like, I think there was two of them that I hadn't caught the first time. And I was like,
you know,
ooh, that one's
uh,
bad too.
yeah. So I don't know why it ended up being an eye snatcher thing, but even the parents dead, when the kid finds the parents dead, the eyes are missing. So that's
Mm-hmm.
just something that they see, so yep. A lot of eye trauma.
Yes. And then like the reveal scene. Um, so
Where it's like
yes. So
right?
that was badass. And I mean, I obviously saw that part the first time, but
Yeah.
just rewatching it, it's just like, oh, that's so gross. But
It was hard
then
to film. It
was
was
it?
really hard to film. Yeah. Just because it wasn't a full body, we had to use like cut from the person that's happening to, right?
Mm-hmm.
To the dummy body and then back and forth, you know,
Oh, okay.
because it just all wasn't in one. But we did get one shot with both in where we kind of just placed the body in front and it looked cool. So, but yeah, super gross.
Oh yeah. Very, very
Yeah.
gross.
I need to go back and watch it because I tried. Well, I end up not watching my movies for a while because I do edit them. So I've seen them so many times that like I
Yeah.
kind of get burnt out by the time I'm done cutting them. But then it's really fun. Like when Dead Inferno came out, I watched that again and I was like, oh man, like that
Mm-hmm.
was really fun to shoot. Um, and that movie was super vulnerable because like at the time I hadn't really made a legitimate movie. It started out as a backyard movie, and about 4 days in, it was just like all these people kept coming on board and helping with it, and all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden we had like a pretty decent sized crew, and we were doing pretty cool things. But it was going to just be a short, and
Oh,
we were just shooting it for fun, and then it just unraveled. So that was pretty cool.
hell
If
yeah.
that hadn't happened, I don't know if I would have ended up doing movies. I wasn't really like thinking of making a bunch of horror movies or anything. So
Oh, you weren't?
nah, nope. I wanted to make a zombie one because I love zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, so that was super cool.
That is cool. So if it started as a short and then you guys decide to do it as a full length, so what did you do? Like just kind of film the short, then take a break for a bit and finish writing it to make it longer? Or like how'd you do that?
Yeah, so it was the scene that happens inside the house where the two are like robbing was the short, and then everything else got written around it. So the break in was like the short in
Okay.
a sense. And really what kind of happened is it was a group of 4 people and each one of us were going to make a short and put it together into a film and make a feature out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who was directing the other one he wasn't able to show up any of the stuff, so he's just like, hey, like I'm about to bowing out. And I was like, I'm gonna finish it. That's
Like I'm
cool.
doing this
So
shit.
that's what happened. And yeah, and then got changed to Bombshell Bloodbath. It was called the drive-in film series, and that's why all the movies that I do have the drive-in film series logo in the front. Is this a reminder of where it came from? So it's not that
Aw.
drive-in film series is a company, Red Nebula is the company, but drive-in film series is the inspiration. So I always has like the triangular drive-in film series. It's like, is it?
Aw.
It happened. We were shooting at my house, making a no budget thing that turned into something. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's so sweet. So sweet. So with Bombshell Bloodbath, see, you get confused with like the blood, like trying to
Yeah,
get
super. Oh. We can from now on we can say Fantasma and Bombshell Bloodbath. I think
Bombshell Bloodbath. Okay.
Yeah, we'll
Fantasma.
Bloody Bath. Yeah.
So I noticed in both of them, you had, and I know I have him on my friends list because I was like, God, this guy is really familiar. Rob Springer.
Oh yeah.
So is he somebody that you work with a lot too?
Yeah. He was another one that didn't make it in Belladonna, but I love Rob. He's great. He reminds me of when I was talking about the Giallo movies. He reminds me of that detective. Like he's just got the voice that's like perfect in Fantasma, and he made like a great villain, in Bombshell Bloodbath. So I mean, he's always super cool to work with. He's a great story of Rob. This is pretty funny. Is I had somebody else casted for Bombshell Bloodbath for the doctor, and he canceled a week before the shooting started. And so I'm in panic mode. I'm going back through what I had audition wise, and I was like, well, I really liked Rob, but he's in Hilton Head, South Carolina, so I felt like it was a long drive for him. But I asked him, and he was like, do you want to like be in the movie? He goes, I'll come to your house and I'll audition in front of you. I was like, okay. So he did.
He's
he
like,
drove
I
all the way
want
up.
this job, damn it.
And he did the scene in the beginning when he gets attacked by the zombies, and literally he says his lines and then he launches himself across the room. He falls into my bookcase and lands on the ground. He's like, oh, like pretending he's getting bit. I'm like, dude. I was like, yes. Like, of course you have the part. Like, that's hilarious and awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So he's another one that didn't make it to Killer Babes, but I'll have other stuff for Rob for sure, because I love working with that guy. So
see, that's cool how you do keep your people with you. I like that.
Yeah, when directors keep like certain people part of their project, I think it's fun. Yeah,
it is. And it just
I did
shows
it unintentionally. I just really liked them. But
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
But now I'm thinking like, oh, dang. Like, I wouldn't want to make a movie without some of these guys.
Yeah.
When I think about my effects crew, I was like, I don't know. Like, we nerd out so much before doing a movie, like making all the stuff, like all the gore scenes. And if it didn't have that, I don't know. Like, it would lose personality of making it,
Yeah. So as far as like the effects and the gore, do you do that yourself? Do you help with it? Do you does somebody, do you have like a special effects team that you're like, this is what I want to happen, and they do it? Or do you actually get in there and do it?
Oh, I don't get in there, but
You don't do it?
No.
You do everything else. You might as well.
Joe Harp Effects is who I've used for everything. He always assembles a team. So it's different people. Amber Michael's been a part of it. Matt Patterson's been a part of it. There's a lot of different people that come in and do sections of stuff. But Joe has always been at the helm of it all. And, we met doing a commercial for a haunted house. And he was like making clowns in this tent, and I was filming it. So I just walk in there. I was like, hey, dude, do you know how to make a zombie? And it was like when, I was looking for crew for Bombshell Bloodbath. He's like, yeah, man, I can make a zombie. And I was like, I kind of want like a Fulci style zombie. He goes, I love Fulci. We're like, okay, we're best friends. We were like.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
But yeah, so I don't get in there and do the effects. Actually, I get grossed out by effects.
Really?
But like I said to you before we hopped on, I've shot everything I've done except for the brand new film. So I'm always behind camera, kind of figuring out the best angle for the effects. And the effects is usually cool because it'll take like 4 or 5 people, and sometimes that includes like PAs and other people,
Mm-hmm.
like even actors that are not acting at the time, like pulling strings, doing things. And it's just fun whenever, we're gearing up to do an effect scene, because everyone's just excited to see how it happens, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone trying to get involved. So that's probably the best part of the horror films, is like getting to an effect scene.
Yeah. I love watching those kinds of things. Like I love watching it be made. I like watching, how, because I mean, you'll watch a scene on a movie and, all this nasty shit's happening and this and that. And it's like, I'm sitting back there like, I wonder how they did that. That would be so cool. I want to be covered in blood. I want to do that. I want to watch how they did it. And so it's like, I'm always like, my wheels are turning like, how is it done? How did this happen? What'd they use? Why does it look that way?
Yeah, and in Bombshell Bloodbath, there's the scene where the one lady throws the shotgun over her shoulder and blows the guy's face off
Yeah.
with it,
Mm-hmm.
and his face is like,
Yeah. And you see it just blow up.
yeah. So like, for instance, to do that, we're shooting in my living room, so I'm not going to get blood all over my wall or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that. So we made a new wall. We put it outside. We lit it exactly the same way. We had a dummy face of, the guy, obviously, but it only was to like, chest high. So the rest of it was just a wooden box. And we just framed it in how we could. And then we had like a bunch of people all pull string at the same time to make his like flesh of his face like whip open.
Whoa.
And there's a behind the scenes on the Dead Inferno disc of like us doing it outside. It was thunderstorming, and like everyone was trying to be huddled under this one little, carport.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because we had to get it that day. It was like because everyone was there.
Mm-hmm.
Just we did it when there was no lightning or anything.
Wow. And so they pull strings and that's what rips his face apart?
Yeah, and that ripped the face open. Yeah,
Oh my
and then
gosh.
we put in like a hazer and some post fog and sparks like for the gun and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
To kind of
Shit,
all
that's
sell together.
cool. I never would have thought of that.
Yeah.
Strings doing it? I wouldn't have even thought that.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, like fishing wires, so you can't see the wires anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of gave a gross effect because, like, even when they get to the edge, they kind of do a little flop thing. It's like, ooh, so gross.
It's so
So
gross.
unrealistic, but gross.
Oh, man.
The best ones, the weird ones, where you're like, that couldn't happen, but that's awesome.
There's one movie I haven't watched it yet, but My Indie Productions has been posting stuff on it for a while now. I think like the composer for the movie and American Guinea Pig.
Oh yeah, I've heard
Have
of
you
that.
watched that yet?
I haven't. No.
I heard it's super, super disgusting because before I even knew My Indie Productions, I had heard about it somehow. And I think I watched like a little video, like it wasn't a trailer, but it was like a weird little video. And I was like, that looks extremely disgusting.
Yeah. I think like Unearthed Films and stuff like that do those extreme horror. Well, Tetra does too, but they also do standard horror too. But yeah, so some films are just like really out there. But
Yeah.
I don't tend to get to them. Not that I mean, I could find a place to enjoy them, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It depends on how graphic. Do I sound like a wuss now?
No, not at all. No kidding. No, you don't sound like a wuss. Gore really isn't for, a lot of people don't like that. They can love horror movies, but they don't
When
like
they say like the
gore part.
Serbian films, like I haven't
I was
watched one of
just going to
those.
mention that.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I guess I'm into like certain things, and other things don't pass as entertainment for me when it goes too
Yeah.
far. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. I was going to mention Serbian film. I haven't seen that one either, but this director I worked with in California had told me about it. He's like, this movie is so fucked up and so disgusting. He's telling me all these scenes. I'm like, well, I really want to see it just because it sounds so weird. So then I started watching trailers on it. I'm like, that
Yeah.
looks really, really messed up. But, and then like, and then you see like all these people on Facebook, when they're writing about it, or there's like a comment about it, or, like, what's the worst movie you've ever seen, or the most disgusting movie you've ever seen. And they've mentioned that one, and everybody's like, don't watch it. Don't watch it. It's disgusting. My head was fucked up afterwards. And it's like, I want to see it just to see, like, is it as bad as they say, or
Yeah.
it's hard to find
Find
though.
out. we'll do like one of those watch parties, right? Is what they call it.
Yeah, let's do it.
You like watch with other people. We're like, watch a Serbian film together and watch party. And we're like,
We'll be the only two on there.
Yeah, we're the other
Everybody's
ones.
like,
we're
no.
like, well, we're so cool.
Yeah, if you can find it, let's do it. It's like, it's so hard to find because they banned it like in so many places.
Right. Yeah.
It's so bad.
Sure.
Or like Human Centipede. That's one movie that I don't like that movie. It was so fucking gross.
Poop in your mouth and
that was
lips to butthole.
That was just, oh God. Me and my mom watched it. I had no idea what it was about.
You watched it with your mom?
Yeah, my mom's super cool though. Like she's who started me loving horror. I was like 5 years old, sitting in the living room watching horror movies with her. We go to every horror movie that comes out. Like she's my horror buddy. She's super badass. But I was like, well, we're flipping through Netflix. I'm like, I've heard of this. I don't know what it's about, but whatever, let's watch it. She's like, okay. So we're both sitting there watching it and we're just like, it's like silent. We just don't even like know what to say. So at the very end, when it's over, we just both I'm all kicked up on the couch with my legs up and we're just sitting there like, what the fuck did we just watch? And I was
the second one's worse.
I heard that too. I won't watch it.
Oh.
First one, no, I'm done. After the first one,
do you want the hook though? Do you want the hook since you're not going to watch it?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say the hook on the show? Is that going to ruin it for other people?
I don't think it'll ruin it. It's been out for how long?
Plug your ears for 30 seconds.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
You don't want to know. Spoiler alert. Human Centipede 2 is a creepy dude who is obsessed with the movie Human Centipede, so he tries to do it himself. So really what it is like Human Centipede, but all the operations are botched and people are like getting, like the sewing's not good and all that would happen does happen and people are getting infections and it's just disgusting. Like when you take it from an intelligent doctor to a sloppy guy, it gets so much worse. There's just more poop. Just like, ugh.
More poop. Oh, that part was so sick. And all I could think about on that part, it's bad just in general watching it, but I was thinking that is sitting on her tongue. Like it's just sitting there. She can't swallow. It's not it's just sitting there. And that's all I just kept thinking was it's in her mouth and it's not going anywhere.
Yep. Just hanging out, having a good time. Saturday night at the bar.
God,
California raisin.
Man, yeah, that's sick. So the director again that I worked with in California, he loves those movies, and he told me to watch the second one. I'm like, fuck you, no. He's like, no, you gotta watch it.
It was in jail or something, but
yeah, and there's like a 500-person centipede.
Right.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yup.
Like how many mouths can we sew to assholes? Let's 500. Let's do 500.
Yeah, I didn't get to that one. I feel like I knew what it was going to be like. So,
a prison feed.
Good, there's other things I can watch.
Oh, so gross. So, my friend Robert Lasardo, he's in that, and I never asked him what he played. He's in the third one.
Yeah, you asked him if he did ass to mouth.
I didn't ask him that, but I'm assuming so because, he does a lot of like the prison gangster type.
Yeah. That's cool though. I mean, that's a franchise to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, it's known. So
it's very known. And I tried getting people to watch it so I wasn't the only one to see it and be like traumatized.
Yeah.
So I was telling my best friend, she actually passed away, but I was telling her, I'm like, so you need to watch this movie called Human Centipede. She's like, ew, why? I'm like, because I don't want to be the only one that saw it. You need to watch it too. She's like, nope.
Yeah. Take my pain away, please.
Yeah. I'm like, please don't make me be in this alone. Oh, shit. Okay. So before we started recording, well, last week or the week before when I talked to you, I told you to pick a movie that you want me to watch. And so you chose The Beyond, and I don't know if I'm saying it. So is it Lucio Fulci? Is that how you say his name? Lucio Fulci. Okay, so we've kind of talked a
Yeah.
little bit about like scenes or whatever, but we didn't say why we were talking about it. That movie was so good. I did not it's not that I didn't expect it to be good, because I figured it would be, especially if you really love it. But the gore in that was just like it was done so awesome and good and gross and cringy,
Especially
and
for the times too, you know?
yeah.
And assuming that, you know, Italians didn't have the budget, you know.
Mm-hmm.
This is all happening when Romero was making, you know, Dawn of the Dead and stuff like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, the zombies were way more brutal in the you know, European films. They were more based on voodoo than
Mm-hmm.
coming back from hell, you know. And I love the supernatural elements to all of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The Beyond for me was his masterpiece out of all of his movies he's done. And then they're all great. Like I love a majority of Fulci's films, but The Beyond to me was the best executed when it comes to like taking the fan base that he had from Zombie
Mm-hmm.
and buying him into like kind of this new push for supernatural type stuff. Because you know, I mean, even the City of the Dead and stuff like that, it's not as like straight up zombie. They're still like, you know, supernatural. Like it's really fun. That's the one you'll probably want to watch next. That's what he did right before The Beyond. But it was
Which
I
one
don't
was
know if
it?
it was the same. It's called City of the Living Dead.
Okay, I wrote that down.
So that one is 1980,
Okay.
and I can't remember whether, I think The Beyond was 1981. So I mean, they were so close together. He had the it was the same vibe, um, and you know, his craftsmanship was very much the same. So that's a great movie too, though totally different.
Mm-hmm.
But there are scenes in that are super iconic, super gory, and you'll remember forever. You know.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, awesome director. He's I don't I can't say whether he's my favorite director. He may be, but Danny Boyle is another one that is one of my favorites.
Who?
Danny Boyle.
Danny Boyle. That sounds really familiar.
He did 20 Days Later. He
Oh,
did
okay.
Slumdog Millionaire.
Yes. Okay.
He did Train Spotting.
So like big time movies.
Did Sunshine. Yeah, but like at the same time, people like, I don't know anybody that I've been like Danny Boyle, and they're like, oh, I know him. They're always like, I don't know who he is, and then you name some movies, and they're like, oh, I've seen those. Those are all great.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got a fantastic style, and it doesn't matter whether he's doing a kids movie or a horror movie. Like he's slaying it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's the best all around director that I like as far as his skill in storytelling. And
Mm-hmm.
Fulci's he makes my favorite movies that I've
Nice.
watched. I like Romero too, you know, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. So Lucio, I have such a hard time saying it and I don't know why. Lucio Fulci did Zombie.
Yep.
Okay, see, and I didn't know that.
There's like a conflict between, because he was making that, and it's kind of like the answer to when Romero was coming out with the second zombie film, Dawn of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Zombie was coming out at the same time, so they had like a conflict in titles. Because and people can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Dawn of the Dead ended up being called Zombie in Italy, and because of that, it's called Zombie 2 in Italy. And it was
Oh.
able to be just Zombie in the United States. So then you had
Mm-hmm.
Dawn of the Dead and Zombie. But
Okay. So
yeah.
Zombie and Zombie 2 aren't actually related.
Zombie and Zombie 2 are really what ended up being Fulci's movies, whether as what it was called in Italy or the United States. But I think that Dawn of the Dead had a zombie title in Italy, and that's why they changed it to Zombie 2 in Italy. There really wasn't a second movie of Romero's. It was just
Okay. So it's the
conflict
same
title.
movie, just
Yeah. So you'll find boxes of Zombie, and then you'll find boxes of Zombie 2, and
mm-hmm.
they're both the same movie.
Oh, okay. See, I never knew that. I
It's
thought
confusing. Yeah. It's kind of
nice.
like Bombshell Bloodbath. And
Yeah, yeah.
like Brett Mullen's jerk movies,
They're not jerk movies.
Double
They're
title
amazing. They're so good. If it gets loud, we're having a thunderstorm all of a sudden that just started.
Hey,
So I don't know if you heard it.
Let's make a movie.
We should. We really, really should. I want to work with you so bad.
Hard Rain 5.
Do what?
It can be us in a little Hard Rain 5.
Yeah.
I don't know how they made those. Hard Rain 2.
Hard Rain 2.
Little boat, some guns, trying to keep the coronavirus away from us.
Yeah, no shit. But we'd have to go outside, so we'd be screwed.
True. Yeah, truth.
Yeah, we totally have to work together.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Even
and
if
band and movie, we'll write our own soundtrack.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah. That would be fun. See, I would love to work with you. In the Beyond, the spiders. Oh, I was going to tell you too, there was so much fucking acid. There's acid and there's eyeballs and there's spiders and there's just so much shit that I was like, oh crap.
He's got an obsession with using acid in his movies too.
Oh, okay.
I think it's neat because it's not really used that often, but I did like how they tied in, the when they kill the guy by throwing the acid on him in the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not telling you who he is or spoiling anything for anybody. So that guy gets doused with acid. So people tend later on in the movie to get killed by acid from a supernatural standpoint. It's just falling off a desk onto their face, but I think it's all trying to tie into that, where they crucify him and throw the acid on him in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be horrible.
But yeah, that would be a really shit way to go. Really terrible way.
Would it really kill you though? If somebody threw acid on your face, would you really die or would you just be extremely, extremely painful?
It depends. If it melts you down to your skull like it did Beyond, then I guess you're dead.
Yes, that's
you have
true.
no choice. You're like, oh, I'm a skeleton.
Oh fuck. Well, and even some of the scenes where I think it was the second acid scene with the lady. And so once the acid kind of eats its way to, and I was watching that too, I was like, whoa, that's really neat. Cause it's the acid starts bubbling. Then all of a sudden blood kind of starts coming out with the acid. Then it starts mixing. Then it gets even lower and her skin's popping open. And then blood's pouring out. And I was like, that is really fucking cool.
And then the blood's like, I'm coming to get you. Off the ground,
like the blob. So.
Yeah. It's kind of neat though. Because, you don't know how they actually plan that to be. And, you wonder if the acid is something that represents, something coming after them, then was the blood just extra blood coming towards their feet to be scary? Or was it the acid, bleeds her out and then becomes something that's coming after the kid? You don't know. So this is neat. Movie's really, really well done. And I love the end. The end's awesome with the painting. Yeah. Super trippy.
Yeah.
The dog's cool too.
The dog. Oh yes. That scene too. And I was thinking the dog was going to be all super awesome and sweet. And I was like, oh, it's her dog. He's there to help her. And then it was like, oh, yeah, what a jerk.
Yeah. What is it called? She wasn't the alpha anymore. I was like, we're a pack.
Yeah, no kidding. And then even that scene though, watching the effects of how that happened. It's funny. It's we're not wanting to give it away, but it's back in 1983, people.
It was puppetry, but it was really well done. I mean, making animals is difficult, very difficult. Becker's making a werewolf right now.
Who is?
Joe Harp.
For your movie?
For Killer Babes.
A werewolf?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Mechanical jaw and eyes that move.
Shit, that's awesome.
Freaking cool. Really cool. But yeah, so animals are hard unless you're Joe Harp.
Cool. Wow, that's so awesome. Yeah. A werewolf.
It's layered. That movie is layered. It's really cool. I can't wait to show everybody.
I can't wait to see it.
I was trying to describe all the characters in the movie are almost like they could all be action figures. because there's not an unimportant character in it. It's almost like Nightbreed, where like all the characters of Clive Barker's are like really cool, right? And interesting and all have motive. And the same thing with Killer Babes. Like there is no lead that doesn't have depth and days to it. So like even though the castings are big, it's like they all are on set multiple days doing a lot of stuff. Like none of them are just like, I'm here for a second. Sometimes you get that, you just pay for me to be on screen for a sec, but that's not the case. Those guys are all mains. Really sweet.
Oh,
really
that's
cool.
awesome. When you got some big names in it too.
Yeah, it was totally a love letter for fans. Like I was thinking like, I want to keep making movies, but eventually you got to say like, make a statement piece, but at the same time, catalogs can be short when they're independent. So I just want to put out one that people really remember for the stars playing unique roles. Like the role I gave Linnea Quigley, I don't know if I've seen her in a movie like that since the 80s when she was doing Night of the Demons. She's a complete badass. And, a lot of people have just kind of been making her cameo type person, but like I'm so excited to give Linnea another Linnea Quigley movie that where people are like, yes, like I want it to be like that, it's really important to me. So yeah, the evil people in it are super evil.
Oh man. Yeah. And you can't say who the evil people are, can you?
Well, I can tell you Linnea is. She's a witch in the movie.
Cool.
Which is really cool. She's always wanted to be a witch in a movie, and I didn't know that until I approached her. So I didn't know whether it was going to be a hard pitch because I met her at a convention and we went like back in this room and we were discussing the script and all that kind of stuff. And when I said witch, her eyes got big. She's like, I've always wanted to be a witch. I was like, sweet, okay, we're done.
Oh yeah.
Awesome, yeah. Then Debbie Rochon is a witch.
Okay.
And Lisa Wilcox is a witch. So Lisa Wilcox is from Nightmare on Elm Street. It's pretty cool. They make a good evil group, and then there's 3 others that I won't tell you who are evil. They're super evil. Some of them are like way evil.
Really? Oh man.
Like Killer and Fantasma evil. Like,
okay.
Bashing up people.
Yeah. Shit, yeah.
So it's fun. It's kind of a it's not a revenge movie, but it feels like a revenge movie because the women are definitely the dominant sources. It takes the tropes of male and female and flip them. So the men are the ones that are being picked on, and the women are just kind of the savages in it. So it's really neat. I played it, so it's the guys who play the rough, tough guys are just not at heart when it comes to the beautiful females that are kicking their ass, Oh, yeah, that's really fun. The dialogue's awesome, and most of the people signed on to the project because they love the script so much. So that was good faith that I did a good job writing it. But I spent a long time on that script. Yeah, I almost took a year writing it. So. Oh, wow. Yeah. It's a long time. Yeah, it's like one of those movies that almost every scene hooks into the next, and it really it gives you like a lot in the time you're watching it. So it'll probably finish quick. Like even though it'll probably be about 90 minutes. It'll probably feel like 60 because it goes so fast. It'll be one of those ones you would want to watch a couple different times to pick up every little cue, because there's so many cues in it that lead up to next things and all that. Oh, damn. I can't wait. Proud of it. Good. When are you releasing it, or when are you planning on releasing it? October. So I'm going to try to do Halloween. Ooh, shit. I know what I'm going to be doing. Halloween 2020, Killer Babes and the Frightening Film Fiasco. Hell yeah. Unless it has to be pushed, the last section of shooting, which starts at May 4th. Okay. Yeah, if May's like a mess for whatever reason, then we won't be able to do it. But hopefully everything blows over and we're able to finish that movie up. Otherwise, it'll be punted a little bit, and I probably wouldn't be able to get it done like by Halloween. But it would be super cool. I mean, it's Halloween themed too. So, okay. Yeah, super fun. Shit. Like it takes place on Halloween. It's one of those ones. Oh, cool.
Oh, that's so exciting. I want to see the werewolf. I'm so excited to see the werewolf too. Because as stupid as this sounds, and I know they're not real, but werewolves scare the shit out of me. It's like, I'm good
Yeah.
with vampires. I'm fine with vampires.
Well,
I'm fine with ghosts. I'm fine
you're
with
definitely going to be scared of this one.
really.
There's not, we made it our goal to have it a werewolf that no one's ever seen before. So it's not a generic werewolf. It's a completely original design that Joe and I, made together by going through books of different things.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's up there with the creepiness that the dog creature in the thing is that rips and does its face and everything like that. Like it's brutal. It's not a pretty wolf. It's a very disgusting wolf. And so let's just say it doesn't tear away from the person very easy. So it just looks like, gross.
Oh,
So
and
it's really,
painful.
really cool and painful. Yeah. So I'm really excited about that too. Because that was, I've wanted to do werewolf stuff, but I just didn't want to make it the same werewolf that a lot of people see in movies.
Yeah.
This one's totally different. Gross. Really gross.
Cool.
So yeah, I saw the moldings of it from Joe, and I'm like, bleh. He's like, so it's good. I'm like, yeah, it's disgusting.
You're like,
really
perfect. That's awesome. Holy shit. That's so cool. I can't wait to see it. That's will you be able to at some point post like behind the scenes stuff or post who characters are? Like, will you do that at some point, or are you trying to keep it all a secret until October?
There'll be a ton because the behind the scenes is in depth with this movie as the actual production. So there's a team doing behind the scenes. Wow. And all of it's like I was trying to skim through it because I hadn't seen all of it yet, but there's like interviews with like everybody on set, all sorts of different points and everything going on. So it'll be really cool when it gets out. And I've talked to a broke horror fan about releasing a VHS for it too. So that'll be cool. Yeah, there's a couple people interested in it. So we'll see kind of the route where it goes. But I really want, I would lean towards somebody that's going to put a lot of extras on it.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
This is what I like about movies anyways. I don't like, a lot of people just try to give you the DVD deal. I'm like, man, this is shot high resolution. Let's at least do a Blu-ray and, put all the extras and interviews and all that kind of stuff, everything you'd want to know. And a poster is being made for another poster right now, which is really cool. That focuses on Jenna Kanell of she's in Terrifier and the Bye Bye Man. So she's one of the leads. And so we filmed a lot of her stuff. Her character is super cool.
Is it?
Yeah, it was fun because we designed her costume from scratch. Soraya Davis did, and I didn't know how Jenna would think. Like she always wears unique stuff in her movies. The Terrifier outfit was really unique. So she tried it on. She walked out, and I was like, "Man, that's killer!" And she was like taking pictures. She's like, "I love it." So
nice.
We knew it was a hit. It went well.
Good.
Yeah.
Man, you're doing so good.
So good so far.
Do what?
I said so good so far. Just keep cracking at it.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. Good. I can't wait. October needs to hurry up and get here.
I know. Yeah, I mean, I had most of it cut, so now I need to get the rest of it shot. But I loved cutting. The stuff I have together right now looks really super cool. I just can't show any of it because they're all spoilers. So it's like just sitting, on my raids.
Yeah. Do you have like your friends come over and do you show your friends the stuff or no?
No one's in it.
Really? Just you?
Yep.
Oh, that'd be so hard.
It is super hard. Yeah. Like the person who saw the most is the boy that's in the movie, Brady Hepner. I showed him like a scene of him coming into the roller skating. And it was like this big scene we shot. We had a 40-foot jib with all these classic cars, and he like speeds his bike down into this thing. And then he comes in and there's like a jib coming from the ceiling. And we had like a ton of extras out all in, Halloween costume. And we had decorated the shit out of this place. And it was so cool. So I showed him like a 15-second clip of that. And he's like, oh man, all excited. I was like, yeah. I haven't showed anybody else. So yeah, it'd be super, super cool when it's all cut together.
Nice.
And everyone gets to see it.
Hell yeah. Oh man, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Shane was talking about how I didn't realize that he does character development. So
Hmm.
I didn't know that beforehand. And so he was talking about how,
Yeah.
he works with, works with you guys and says, okay, this is what I'm thinking for the character. What do you think of this? And he goes all out, and he basically method acts too,
Yeah.
which is
That's
super cool.
going back to what I said about why I love working with Shane so much is because he does have that dedication to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it also helps too that he knows me so well at this point that he does know kind of my taste, but he feels
Yeah.
comfortable enough to voice his opinions. I think a lot of people do because I'm a very collaborative person.
Mm-hmm.
So, I like to tie things in that are true to people, if they want to show those things or if they feel like a character would say something slightly different, like I lean towards that because I've gotten better results out of doing that than trying to keep it, exactly verbatim. So
Yeah.
yeah, Shane definitely he gets obsessed about characters and he puts a lot into them. So I just gotta let him go because it helps the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just letting him be as passionate as I am about it. I mean, 'cause when the movie's done, it's all of our movie. Like maybe
Mm-hmm.
I forefronted wanted to do it, but ends up being everybody's. We all spent the time on set together, you know. So we're just all putting our pieces together to make it awesome. That's why it's important to put a good crew together, like people you trust and people you like being around. Because at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, it's its own little book that you get to shut. You get all that time together, you got all that collaboration. Like art is basically, it's a huge bonding experience.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um, do you know who Tony Newton is?
Tony Newton sounds familiar, but I don't know off
Yeah.
the top of my
Yeah.
head.
I know we have mutual friends with him and stuff, but he's a director as well. Um, I could be wrong, but he might be part of my indie as well. But don't quote me because I don't know for sure. Um,
I would know a picture, just because
his picture
we live in a weird
is
Facebook world where I there was this person I knew from Facebook, but I swore I met them in person. And I saw him at a convention and I ran up on him and I was like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, wait, we never met before." But
you're like, but I
I was
totally know you
thinking,
on Facebook,
yeah,
damn
I was
it.
like, "Shit, how can I?" Sorry.
So this is the Facebook picture of him.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
Yep.
So maybe my indie promoted. I don't really know if he's even part of my indie, but I just assume it's so hard once you get into Facebook and you have 200 mutual friends with these people. It's like you don't really know how everybody knows everybody. But so he's working on a film called
Right.
The Dark Web. So me and my director friend here did a segment for him for it, and it was
Cool.
cool because we like me and him collaborated, not Tony Newton, but me and my director
Mhm.
collaborated on it and was like, okay, let's do this, this, and this. But then there was this one scene that we did where he's like, well, I think you should do, you're freaking out and doing this. I'm like, honestly, if this just happened, that's not how you would react. You wouldn't be like screaming your fucking head off and being like, oh my God, doing that. It's like you would actually
Right.
be kind of more like, you're scared, you're backed up into a corner, you'd be a little quieter. You don't want whatever it is to hear you. Like I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't freak out like that. He's like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. No, let's do it that way. So it's cool. It's cool when you can kind of react the way that you think you would really react as opposed to what the script says, because then it's more natural and
Yeah.
it sounds more natural.
So one great method of doing that is when you do your rehearsals, you do them on paper with everyone sitting,
Mm-hmm.
and you do a generic blocking. So you say, hey, like you're going to be here, you'll make it over to here. This will kind of happen. You let them explore how that scene's going to go on the very first take, and you get authentic reactions from both people because they don't know exactly how it's going to go. And as long as you nail it on camera, that's like the key. Why
Mm-hmm.
people don't do that all the time, but you'll get really interesting stuff. I feel like if you're too hands-on in the front, you lose that from the actors. You don't get a chance to see how they interpreted it enough.
Mm-hmm.
This is really cool, like to have confidence that that they're good enough that once you see that, you can, you know, make it whatever you want. You can make
Mm-hmm.
whatever kind of cookie you want. Yeah. Maybe you didn't want chocolate chip, but that was nice for showing me chocolate chip.
I wanted sugar.
Oh, I should tomato.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so I've been waiting for you to announce something special.
All right, so after the wrap of Killer Babes production, not the post-production, but the production, I'll be starting to work on casting and other things for a project called Fantasma
Dun, dun,
2.
dun. What is it?
Fantasma 2.
Ooh, yay!
It's called Red Carpet Reveal, and it doesn't follow Fantasma. It lives in the same world as Fantasma. So it's a different character going through different things in the same world. So I hope to tie the main character Kendra in it. She was the blonde, so at some point she's wrapped in it if I can get her. But yeah, super exciting. It's kind of like a mind control horror, and it's based around someone, what it takes to make it in Hollywood. So, oh man, it's gonna be cool because it's half a monster flick too, which is really neat. I love a good monster flick.
Hell yeah!
So it's got monsters. It's got cool, like the locations I see for it will be really, really sweet. It's got some like really intense like paparazzi type scenes that are all kind of lit by flashes. I have some people in mind I want to be in it, but there'll be a general casting for it, and it'll probably start production at the beginning of next year as long as everything's going well. So that'll be really sweet. And then I've got a short that I'm working on. It doesn't have a title, but it's kind of like a Mario Bava movie, and it's for an anthology. One of the directors is got a very big name for one of my favorite movies, but I can't say what it is because whatever. But I will have the chance to be on an anthology with him, which is really cool.
Oh, I bet.
So that's gonna be sweet too.
Oh,
so that's kind of what's up. But I've told nobody about Fantasma 2, by the way. Shane doesn't know. No
really?
Yeah, no one knows. Like Shane always knows first, right? So
yeah,
no one knows about Fantasma 2, but I have it at 1/4 done, written, and then I have a tree for the rest of how it will go. But it's going to be really, really cool. Like it's a really smart way to wrap like two timelines together. It's gonna be fun. It'll be really cool. Plus, I wanted to do another Giallo anyways. So it'll be super exciting. It'll have a very similar soundtrack. It'll have a very similar like dreamscape with the lighting and all that.
I love that.
It'll feel very much like the other one. It just won't be about ballet. It'll be about acting instead.
So. That's freaking cool. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. You told me first.
Yeah.
That's badass.
I've been wanting to tell someone because I've been working on the script, but I was like, this would be a great place. You're cool. I know you like the first movie a lot. So,
yes.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, that's so exciting. Cool. Oh man. That's really cool. Will you have some, like, besides the blonde girl, will you have others that were in the original? Or well, the first one? Or will you do a whole new?
I'm going to have Brett Wagner. Yeah, it does kind of have a new, it does have a new space with all new people, but there's a couple of return characters.
Okay.
Yeah. It just kind of ties some things together that you're like, oh, like it doesn't feed too much off of the story of Fantasma. It just gives you enough that you understand it's the same universe, and then it makes a couple things like a little deeper than it was. It expands what you thought you knew.
So what we thought we knew, we don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of leaves you at the end of Fantasma where you're like, oh, like, I think I understand what's going on. And then at the end of this one, you'll say, I know exactly what happened.
Cool.
Like, it explains all that and it cuts into it. So that'll be really neat.
Nice. Oh, I can't wait. That's so exciting. Yay.
Yeah. I'm super excited for it too.
Hell yeah.
It'd be awesome. So, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I mean, maybe even the finishing of that will kind of spark that first one back.
Yeah, definitely.
I would love a re-release of it. Something that has got a lot more extras and stuff, because it only got a DVD release, so it'd be cool to get like
Oh.
so like a director's cut or something. You know, a lot. It had a lot of gore cut out of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they
And is that
showed
because you cut it that way or the distribution company
it
cuts
is
it that way?
when they took it. Yeah,
Mm,
there was a lot more of the killer in it.
hmm. Okay. See, I didn't realize that distributors cut the movies. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they do sometimes if they think it's gonna sell better one way or the other. You know,
Oh, that's a bummer.
it wasn't stuff that I thought it really needed, but
Hmm.
it'd be cool to see it anyways. I mean, we made it, so
Oh, yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
put it all in there.
Hell yeah. Just throw it all in there.
Yeah,
People love that shit. A
cut the
director's
blood.
cut would be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be neat. And then I shot a ton of behind the scenes for it.
Oh,
Did a
did
bunch of
you?
interviews. I went to California and interviewed some of the actors that were out there, and like now. So there's material to do something pretty cool.
That would be
So we'll
neat.
see.
Ooh, yay. I can't wait. That's so awesome. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
so if you're not in the immediate United States and you want to get Fantasma to release, it's open source outside of domestic for me, and I'd be willing to give you a bunch of different yummy bits to play with. Wonderful
Yes.
behind the scenes.
Yeah. And
And now it's
people
got like
love
so
it.
many cool posters and stuff made for it. Like it's got a ton of awesome artwork. Like you
I
could
know.
do most badass box for it.
That would be super cool. Do like a little, like every part inside has a different picture.
Yeah,
I like
be
the one with
super
the
neat.
mask, the white mask.
Me too.
That one's
My favorite
badass.
one was so cool. So the artist that did that is the one that's designing the Killer Babes poster now.
Cool.
Originally, the New Jersey HorrorCon, which got canceled, was at the end of this month, and that was a exclusive poster for the event that was only going to have so many. And Jenna and Tiffany Shepis were both going to be there in person. I had a filmmaker table there, and Shane was going to be there. So you got four people involved in the movie. We were going to be able to sign it and do stuff with it. But as soon as that got canceled, I was like, well, I'll have a poster. I'll just make it exclusive to something else, unless they do their event in June. Then we'll do
Yeah.
it then. But we'll see.
Cool.
But it's going to be awesome. All his artwork is so good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did
Super,
he do
super
your
cool.
original, the one that you are showing right now for Killer Babes? Is that the same? That's the same artist, right?
Yeah. And he also did a poster for like my super surprise film that it's been a long process. I've been working on it for like 3 years, but it's a remake of a movie, and it's a big deal because it's a big movie. But the director is no longer with us, so it's been an interesting things with rights. Like I've flown around and met a lot of people,
Mhm.
and shook a lot of hands to kind of get to where I am now. But the script is written and poster image is done, and people are pretty much on board. It's just like finding funding for it, because it's probably going to take a couple million to do it correctly.
Wow.
So it's just like that was another reason to try to knock it out with Killer Babes. Put a nice one on the resume to try to get funding for this next one. So
Mhm.
everything will kind of fall in as it needs to. But I've got a couple years of being able to do this other project, so we'll see if it happens.
Cool.
It'd be so cool. Yeah.
Are you allowed to say what it is? You can't,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah. But
Oh,
I mean, soon enough. Soon
yeah.
enough.
You'll get to do it. I mean, you'll get it done. You're up there. You're getting up there. You're doing good. I mean, you got these big names in your
Just
movies. I
keep
mean,
chopping it.
huh? What? I didn't
Oh,
hear you.
I don't know what to say.
I like half heard you, but then it like stopped. I'm like, wait. Fucking
I got
thunder.
distracted. I'm lit here. Yeah, so got lights in my eyeballs.
You're like, I don't know
Well,
what's going on.
let's take a moment for the fans to see my movie collection.
Yeah.
Do you mind?
Yeah, no, of course not.
All right. So for those of you not seeing picture, I'll kind of give you some highlights here. So we got a zombie stuff starting from George Romero's movies. You know, we got some weirdo ones like Flight of the Living Dead. Why did they make that? I have no freaking clue. I got a signed Tom Savini, Dawn of the Dead box.
Nice.
These are some ones that are lesser known of a platoon of the dead. I promise a lot of these people like will watch this video or something because they all still make horror movies. Deadlands, Zombie Camp Out. We've got like, these are some older ones. So we got Shockwaves, some cannibal movies, and Jungle Holocaust and Cannibal Holocaust, Oasis of the Zombie, Jess Franco stuff. We got some of my stuff right there.
Your awesome stuff.
VHS, Zombie Lake, more Cannibal, Deep River, Nightmare City, Sugar Hill, which is really underrated. Tombs of the Blind Dead, more Giallos. I don't want to waste your time. There's a ton of cool stuff here.
No, you're fine. Keep going. You're good. You can show it all.
So for people that are experiencing the maybe apocalypse, find some of these ones. I'll give you just a few. Let's see, what's a good one? This one actually is very disturbing. It's called Zombie Ass. Right?
Zombie Ass.
For all you turd people, it's called Toilet of the Dead. Let's see. Okay, so recommendations for the actual end of the world. We've got let's see. Let's do Island of the Fishmen. This is Sergio Martino movie. It's a monster movie. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Let's do The Case of the Scorpion's Tail. That's a giallo. It's really gross. Lots of blood.
We like gross.
Kind of interesting.
Nice.
Yeah. Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. Very good zombie movie.
That sounds good.
Children
I want to see
Play
that.
with Dead Things is a Bob Clark's film. He did A Christmas Story. This is very much not like Christmas Story. This is his very first movie.
Wow.
And last one to give you guys, what do we want to do here? We will go with let's just go with the Blind Dead series. Just do the Blind Dead series. Watch all 4 of them. They're really bad, but you know, they're close to my heart because they're low budget movies with heart.
Nice. Blind Dead series.
The Blind Dead series, yeah.
Okay.
There's 4 of them, and I don't know, there's not really plot. There's just Templars running around killing people. But
shit, yeah.
All
right.
Check that out. It's
so
entertaining.
We're all quarantined. We got a list of movies we need to watch.
Yeah.
Have you seen Night of the Living Deb?
No.
It's fucking funny. It's good. You'll like it. If you like horror comedy, it's good.
I do.
Yeah.
You
Night
know,
of the Living Dead.
Ready or Not was awesome.
Ready or Not. Was that like the hide and seek one? That was really good. I liked that.
Good. Night of the Living Deb.
Yeah. Night of the Living Deb. And then Deadheads. Have you seen Deadheads?
No.
Oh my gosh.
You're changing my zombie world right now.
Yeah, you're going to love it. Your world will be rocked.
I love Shaun of the Dead and movies that are kind of, comedy zombies.
Mm-hmm.
I love those. It's cool.
Yeah, those two
you watch Zombie Ass.
I will watch Zombie Ass. Let me write that down. Even though I have the video and I could just rewind it, I will put Zombie Ass.
Yeah, sure. You do have the video.
It's like I could just go back and watch it, but I'm going to write this down. Zombie Ass.
I've made it so now that both times we've talked on podcasts, there's been a lot of poop involved.
There has been.
I mean, we even got into the human centipede.
We totally did. Asked him out.
I just hope you know that you're the only one that gets poop. No one else gets poop.
Oh, I feel so honored. Thank
I don't say
you.
turd, poop, shit with anybody else.
Well, thank you. I'm
Yeah.
like your turd buddy. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
turds.
oh shit, that's funny. But no, check those two out. You will like it. Also, this doesn't have to do with zombies, but it's like they're evil Nazi sausages, and it's called
What?
Yoga Hosers. And Kevin Smith directed it. So Jason Mewes is in it. Johnny Depp is in it. Johnny Depp's daughter, Kevin Smith's daughter, Johnny Depp's ex-girlfriend, his baby mama's in it. There's a couple other big names. It is hilarious. Oh, and since you said Ready or Not, it's got can't remember his last name, but his first name's Adam, and he plays the brother in Ready or Not.
I don't know off the top
The
of my
brother
head.
that tries to save her, basically, or tries to help her or some shit.
Oh, he was great in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was in Jennifer's Body.
Too.
What?
Cool. It sounds awesome.
That was funny. It was so good. And it's these little Nazi sausages, and they like they're these little fat guys, and they like talk in German, and they have to defeat them. It's hilarious. Yeah. And that's on Tubi. So on Tubi TV is Yoga Hosers. Oh, and it's got what's his name? Justin Long.
Oh, great.
He's in it.
It's been a while since he's been in something that I've watched.
Yeah. You'll like it. Watch that too. It's hilarious. I was laughing so damn hard. It was good.
That's great.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
You got my list. I got yours. So we got movies to watch while we're stuck in our houses.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So we're at the end now. So now is where you can let everybody know where to find you, your upcoming projects, which, yes, we talked about them, but, just a recap, basically. If there's anybody you want to shout out, anything special that you want to say, now's your time. If you want to shout out turds and all that good stuff, then you can totally do that too.
Well, yeah, of course, they may fast forward to the end of this because the first when they heard Thurston and the Turd Band stuff, they're like, we thought this was a movie maker. But no. So to check out my stuff, your best off going to social media and typing in Brett Mullen. There's different pages for different movies and stuff like that. But you can you can go to Tetra and buy it because it's sold out, but you can find Bombshell Bloodbath on Amazon Prime. You can find it on Tubi. You can find it on Hulu. And you can find Fantasma, but you just have to search under Bloody Ballet. And you can find that on Amazon Prime. I don't think that's free anymore, but who knows? They might make it free soon. So
it's kind of off and on. It's like free, then it's not free. Free, then not free.
Around Halloween, it's usually free.
Oh.
And then I've got Killer Babes and the Frightening Film Fiasco that is in production right now. That's got Linnea Quigley, Tiffany Shepis, Lisa Wilcox, Jenna Kanell, Debbie Rashawn. It's got a huge list of people. So definitely go check that out. It's fun. There's some exclusive stills that are like on Dread Central and stuff like that.
Cool.
And then, I'll be posting some new stuff about upcoming projects that I'm working on after this is released. So at the time you're watching this, there will be some few stuff coming out after that. So I'm really excited, and I really love everything that's happening in the independent community right now with my indie productions and with the what Romero's doing and what there's just a lot of people are just trying to help independent artists, including your podcast, which I'm very thankful to be a part of. It's just really cool to give us a space for our voice. So that's what makes it spread.
Spread the virus.
You're the coronavirus of us independent filmmakers, and we appreciate it. We're just trying to spread good content. Who about that hook? Ooh, you know how to cure the coronavirus, don't you?
No.
It's been proven. I've actually figured it out.
Drink alcohol? I don't know. Oh, for real?
What you do? Hold on.
Okay.
you get a beer and you open up the beer and you drink it. And basically what happens is the coronavirus gets drunk, right? So they start like going like, oh God, help, please. Like, I didn't expect this. And then you got to do a cartwheel. Because if you do a cartwheel, then they fall out your mouth because they stay in your throat for 4 days before they go into your lungs and stuff like that. So really just like hang in there, drink something good, cartwheel, send those suckers out, step on them. I mean, they look pretty soft and squishy, so I'll check that for you today.
Step on them.
Step on them.
Speaking of stepping on, yoga hosers, they squish the sausages, like they come out of mouths and shit, and you step on them and like they explode, and they go in assholes too. That's another, see, we were talking about turds, and they go up into their butt and they take over the body.
They sound evil.
They're
like
super
yoga's
evil.
The most, like if it's, people doing yoga, that's very vulnerable for buttholes. Almost all those positions are like perfect for sausages. Sucks.
They are evil. They're little German Nazi sausages.
It's just rude. Yeah. I'm gonna watch it.
You gotta watch it. You'll love it. I swear you'll love it.
I feel like I want a mystery science theater of that movie.
That would be super funny. I haven't seen that forever. Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah.
Oh man. Now if I can keep a straight face, I'll do my
our exit.
What?
Yeah, my face always hurts when I'm done talking. So that's good. We'll survive. There's worse things.
We'll totally survive. And then if we get the corona, I'm going to do what you said, and I'm going to drink and then do a cartwheel and then vomit out the little squishy things and then step on them. And I'll write you and I'll be like, your method worked. I'm coronavirus free.
Yep. You heard it first.
Yeah, firsthand. Oh man. What is it? Exclusive.
Exclusive. It's even a better exclusive. Like, that's good information.
That's good shit to know. All right. So I want to thank you so much for coming on. I always have a good time with you, and I'm glad that you came on again. We'll have to do it again as often as you want. I love having you on here. So you're a lot of fun.
Cool. Consider it done. I'll come up with a different lighting scheme next time.
Yeah. Next time, do like purple. Do purple, pink, or blue.
All three.
Yep. And then your shirt has to match because your shirt matches every single time. So.
Sure. Yeah, I'm ready. I got a lot of shirts, so I think this is doable.
You're like, I'll make a match. And next time I might have a light as well.
Nice.
Because I got to like keep up with you.
Yeah. I'm putting some wicked bars together, so setting bars. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, great. Thanks. Thanks, Brett. All right. I want to thank Crazy Ink Publishing, which is my publisher for my books. So I have Broken Halo and Broken Halo Blood Curse out right now on Amazon. The third one in the series will be out in January. I don't remember the date, but once it gets closer, I'll obviously know a date at that time. So thank you to them. I want to thank My Indie Productions for, which we are both featured artists on there. And that's how I met you. So it's, they're just a great community and they're just amazing, super supportive. So everybody needs to check them out on their website, Facebook pages, all of that good stuff. Matthew Price Thompson with MPT Graphics for doing my artwork. Johnny Daggers for doing my intro and my logo. And he was also my first guest. Chris Attella, which I call him Attella the Hun. So Attella for doing my outro music and then some of my promo music that I'll be releasing just kind of here and there whenever I do promos, I guess. Sir Sturdy I actually had him on right before you, but he's who started me with podcasting. I was co-host with him.
Yeah.
So it's Horror with Sir Sturdy. So he's on all the platforms too. iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Twitch, all that good stuff. Bud Vino, He's also been in radio, podcasting, all of that for a really long time. He's a huge supporter. He's one of my very best friends. He's absolutely amazing. Check him out. He's great. And then just all of my friends, family, and supporters that just are always there through this whole fun, crazy thing. And that's about it. So with that, we're done. Peace.
Peace.